will meet for planning session on Monday, October 13th, 2025 at 6 o'clock p.m. in the auditorium at the Brownsville Area High School, 1 Falcon Drive, Brownsville, PA, for general purposes. At this time, we'll move into public remarks on agenda and non-agenda items. Jody, any signed up this evening?
Yes, we have 4. Charlotte Gibble is the first.
Okay. And again, since we have 4, Jody, and they signed up, is it 5 minutes?
Yes.
5 minutes. Okay. Mrs. Gibble.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm coming in to address a couple of serious issues that have occurred. One, as all of you know, I did move my daughter from the elementary school. That was based off of the decision that you all failed to respond to parent boundaries that were within the guidelines of the federal law and state law for CYS visitations. That is concerned. You are already put on legal notice when I sent that email in. Number 2, because of lack of response, I'm going to make sure that it is noted about the 2 formal complaints that I sent in per personnel. The board cannot discuss it in executive session due to the conflict of interest and the fact that it's been mentioned several times. Therefore, the board needs to seek outside agencies that are not connected to Fayette County CYS, any board members, any personal relationship to Davis and Davis Law Firm. This is to assure the transparency of this policy for the conflict of interest on policy 827, video listed on your district website. I please appreciate you to take that as immense concern and handle that appropriately. If not, I will do so. You have a comprehensive packet, well documented and ready to go. Number 3.
No words.
To the DOJ, Civil Rights Department, sorry. Because I've had it documented from every email from the gate to where I stated that Mary Davis was not to sit over the federal meeting because there was conflict of interest. And he is not protected by the Sunshine Law Act. Unfortunately, I brought this issue up because of a Title IX concern that I had back in October, and those questions still have yet to be answered. And no formal investigation has still yet to be formally done. Along with the CYS documentation and lack of missing documentation, I should say, of how did she have access to my child in the elementary school? How did she have access to my child in the middle school? Why were my children traumatized due to the fact that I asked for a serious investigation, which would have been fair across the board? For a mandated reporting policy issue that everybody has been addressed and has known about since November when I made out all the CYS complaints and all the documentation, everything's been emailed. Not to mention the fact that my daughter was concerned about addressing bullying issues in the elementary school because of the fact of the CYS complaint. So then I put legal regards and I to protect our teachers as well, because I put them as a liability. And at this point, that is not fair for me or my family. I've been in here as good faith as a parent and as an advocate for this district. I've been mocked, I've been referred to as something out of a junkyard, and I have kept my composure. Now I took it strategically and have kept everything very well documented, transcripts and all, where things are edited, where for my documentation purpose, which clearly stated for June 16th removal. So put a legal justification on why I was removed for documentation purposes. So therefore, those are serious violations. And having been presented here, I've always stated I never wanted to sue. Never wanted to sue because I don't harm a district like ours. I was trying to bridge the gap, but it's no longer playing Mr. Nice because apparently what I'm stating is not factual enough for everybody. So,
Are you suing?
no, I'm seeking for outside investigations actually. To the DOJ, the Attorney General's, the Open Records Office, for Sunshine Act violations and everything else. I've been advised to get an attorney and sue at a federal level, but I do not want to. But if that happens to come about, I don't have an attorney, we all know this. But if it comes about and somebody wants to take a case, they by all means, we got a fund on here, because I can look it back and deal with CYS and how I pursue them as well. Because when you played with my children, when I took my advocacy seriously, that's when I had enough. I've been in here documenting serious concerns for years, 4 years in fact. And to be treated the way that I had to do my own child for a school district that I've been advocating for is sad. For teachers' protection and my child's protection, but there's no retaliation concerns. Not to mention the fact that the IEP issues that we have, the 504 plans. Why are we having people tell parents to put their kids on medication? That should never be a thing. Never, you're not. You're not qualified to make that decision about putting a child on medication. There's a holistic approach. You don't even understand psychology. So that is my full heart. And I will keep protecting these parents and these children and these teachers in this district. So you all have a choice to really get it together, especially this administration.
Thank you, Mrs. Gill. Jody, who's next? Mrs. Marsh?
The next one is Robin Todd.
Mrs. Toth?
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, you can hear me without the mic, right?
Yes.
The last 3 or 4 meetings I've been to, I've had trouble hearing some of you. There's really no sense in any of us coming to the meetings if we can't hear what you're saying. I also spoke to a parent today that said that she watches the online meetings and can't hear you either. So that's a problem. People want to know what's going on. Second of all, I'd like to know if the student handbooks are ready.
Yes, the student handbooks are ready. Are the principals out there in the audience? Yeah, the student handbooks have been approved. And they're,
They're ready.
yes.
Shouldn't that be something the child gets when they first start school? How do they know the rules 2 months in? We've already started a bad practice.
The handbooks are posted, correct? On the district website.
If the kids don't know the rules coming into it, they've already started bad habits, and you expect them to write them 2 months into school. Not only that, the parents should be aware of the rules. Then they can't say, well, we didn't know that. I asked for a copy, and they weren't signed off a month ago, but I understand they're ready now. Gotta have the rules set in place. Rules are good, I like rules. When you have rules, you know right and wrong. How can we expect the kids to know or respect us adults if we don't start out right? We can't go halfway through the school and oh, you're not allowed to do that now. And the rules change every year, I'm sure. You've mixed kids up.
Thank you. Jody, who's, anyone?
Jamie Vogel.
Ms. Vogel? Good, how are you?
Probably know why I'm speaking. This is in regards to the decisions of discarding the library books from the high school.
Can't hear you.
The high school, it was the last remaining library, and now those books have been discarded and are gone. What is the plans, or are there any plans to reinstate the library?
Teachers went down to the library and they reserved books. They put them aside. So each one of the classroom teachers picked a canon of work or canon of books that they would like to put aside. Those books were labeled and then they were placed in the teachers' classrooms until the library renovations happen, and then those books are in fact coming back down to the library. There will be a library section there.
Okay, because I was about to say, because I know in the South, with the school districts banning cell phones, and with the path that's going on now, even within our own state with a possible legislation saying we are going to ban cell phones, kids are checking out books.
Correct.
And I don't understand why the elementary and the middle school do not have library books. for kids to check out. And I'm not talking about the books in the classroom that teachers have. I have a teacher, I have a classroom or a little library in my own classroom. But we need a place for our kids to go, to be able to research, for those kids that don't have internet access at home or access to the Brownsville Library. They need these things. And it just makes me very upset because actually my own daughter asked me the other day, why do I not have a library in my elementary school? I don't have the answer for that. Is it budget cuts? Maybe. Or is it, focusing on other things? And I do know that, our other local districts are getting rid of the library, but why do we have to be like everybody else? I know Cal is currently looking for a librarian, but for some reason we're omitting them. But I am glad to hear that those books are coming back, at least to the high school. Thank you.
I'm just going to add to that, Mr.
Yes.
President, if I may. I don't know exactly what's happening in the library. I know there's some changes coming towards the end of the year. I do want to say that administration has allowed the Historical Society to remove 643 history books from that library that will probably have been doomed, and they will be going to the Historical Society home in the future at a library for us. So I thank administration and the district for allowing us to go through those and take those. One of the most oldest books that we found was over 100 years old. It was from way back at Redstone, maybe even longer. It was called The Brownsville Grays. And some of the names in that book are names that people live in this town. It's their last name. They were the first Civil War unit to leave Pennsylvania. And Brownsville had the first. They were the Civil War Grays, although they were Union Blue. But that book is over 100 years old. It would have been gone. And so I'm happy that we happened to see that book. It's called The Brownsville Grays. And many books like that, many that would have probably seen their fate. And there's still more there. But I think we got all the history books, so they're safe. That's good. I thank the administration, Dr. Martin, the administration, and Jerry Ockner for allowing us to get in there to get those. Right? So whatever's happening with the library, that's on us, this board and administration. I don't know the full picture of that yet. But books are books. You cannot replace them. So I'm not a book burner. That's all I have to say, Mr. President. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for your group to go in there and look through those books. I think that was,
Yes, all
it's
the
a lot
president.
of time, but I think well worth it.
I never realized till I started seeing some of the books that I was looking at. It's like, my God, someone was 50, 60 years old, John F. Kennedy, James Polk, Abraham Lincoln. Those books were written, those are first editions.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's enough.
it's very good. Thank you. I think that was it for who signed up. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on with the agenda. Thank you. Superintendent's remarks?
Yes, today was an in-service day, and we would like to thank Dr. Lepore. He spoke to Uniontown High School as well as Uniontown School District as well as Brownsville, and then a few members of the AG Guidance Department showed up for that keynote as well. He spoke on bullying, and this is a step in the right direction for our anti-bullying initiative that we are undertaking. Today, just to coincide with that, an ad hoc meeting happened today. So with that being said, they are looking into an analysis of some root causes of bullying within our community. So we will keep chipping away. Thank you to the committee.
That's great. Thank you. Okay, board members, moving on with the agenda. For Thursday's meeting, you will see a motion to approve the agenda and related items and materials to incorporate into the minutes. And then also you will see a copy of September 18th's board minutes. Questions or comments on that? You also see the board treasurer report. Ms. Columbia, anything to add to that?
No.
Okay. So that'll be for October's general funds, capital funds, Title I, and so on. And then you will see a list of the funds, items A through I. Questions on any of that? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Mr. Dorsey, education.
In our packet, before I'm trying to find.
Mr. Dorsey, can you? Thanks.
I don't think they're turned up very well because I couldn't hear people speaking from right there.
Okay.
So whatever the setting is on those, we need to check that for Thursday. So
Okay.
I agree that it's hard to hear sometimes because there's been times where I've sat down here and can't hear Rick or somebody down at this end speaking. And that's even with the mics. And it's a continuous problem. So I totally agree. But I wrote right here, back in the back on E1. Oh, there's a letter. And it is sincerely Dr. Robert Meliak. So I hope we didn't mail this out with Dr. Mahalik's name spelled wrong. Unless we do have a Dr. Meliak.
We do not in this district that I know
Yeah.
of.
I don't know, man.
Thank you, I did not even catch that.
That comes out like when I voice text. Lord knows how it comes up. I've said some things that shouldn't be sent forward when I voice text and caught it before I hit send.
Right.
Okay, education. We have two items under here. Item A, discussion of approving purchase of phonics for reading in the amount of $2,085 for the 25-26 school year. That is paid out of the Ready to Learn grant. That's elementary based. Item B, discuss approving a request for Lexi Ferrier to host the 2025-26 musical Matilda on March 5th, 6th, and 7th. So that's the Education Committee.
We will need to determine a budget for the musical at some point, a little closer to that time. But this is just for approval of the dates.
Of what they're gonna do, yeah.
Mhm.
Questions for Mr. Dorsey or on the Education Committee report?
Just a question for Mr. Dorsey. I noticed in the library there are a lot of computer shelves and keyboards and stacked to the ceiling. What's going to be the fate of that stuff, besides taking up space in 3 rooms?
Those are going to be recycled at no cost to the district.
Thank God.
Yes.
Because last time they wanted us
Yeah.
to pay them to take them.
And it is, I think 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, they are coming. So it's not this week, the following week. They're coming to recycle all of those products. And
So they're gonna come and take them?
they are going to take them and recycle them at no cost. And then we had an administrative meeting. Principals know that if there are any miscellaneous, if there's any technology that they need rid of, now's the time to have that placed where it can be taken as well.
Thank you. So that will free up 2 more rooms, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 2.5,
Yeah.
1.5, something like that. For something.
Yeah, one full room and then what's in the library on the floor.
Okay.
Well, I have a question related to that.
Mm-hmm.
When and at what point did we decide to use that library as a dumping ground, storage area?
I think it just slowly happened, is the way it appears to me. It wasn't being utilized, and I think slowly items just ended up placed in there. But it's full of laptops and
I think a lot of it
towers.
was when the wrestling room was was put into action. That took place to work on computers, so that became a graveyard for computers.
And probably when, technology moved over into that other room, they cleared out a lot of those devices that were obsolete and they ended up in that library.
And you're correct, because when that happened, you needed a wrestling room that Mr. Boyd had to move. Wrestling room was built. Mr. Boyd did not have room in that office for all that stuff, and you could not dispose of it at that time. So therefore, we had to store it, and I think that's where it got stored, plus the other two rooms down the hallway. You gotta pallet them, you gotta shrink wrap them, and they will come and get them.
And take them.
And that's a very good point, thank you, Mrs. Zubich. I know this came up when we were discussing with the books, Mr.
Yes.
Brashear. We talked about a process for things like that, right? Right, Dr. Martin, you could kind of go through that process. But I think once it gets to that last level, right, Mr. Brashear, it was like, it kind of just stopped. We didn't know, it's like to Mrs. Zubich's point, you shrink wrap it and then what, it just sits there? Like what, there's gotta be something.
There's a period till they come and take them, yes.
Okay.
Recycle it.
Yes, it's gotta sit there, then it can be recycled.
Okay. Just so we're clear on the
Yeah.
process.
I also,
Mr. Yokoben, am I correct on what I'm saying? Thank you.
I would, Mr. President, I would be remiss not to thank Mr. Yakovet and Mrs. Stout for helping save those books from disaster. Thank you for that. I was happy to be at the right place to get up there to get them, but man, some of the stuff I saw. Anyway, but thanks.
Yeah, right. So do we, and maybe this is for Mr. Yakovet, do we just have to let it sit there until they come and get it? Like we're on their timetable? Like obsolete items or books or? Yes. Okay. Because I know you have timelines, right, to get things done and.
On November 17th, whoever they're going in at, whoever they're going in the library, they're coming in on the 17th to remodel that. It's going to take 2 days to do that. I gotta have that folder in here.
Right.
I gotta have all the records in the bookshelves, I gotta have them on all. Whatever needs to be done, has to be done. But there's a lot of work to do here, along with other stuff.
Hey Jerry, your stuff to clear from the library, do you have to clear it where, do you have places for that stuff, or you just?
Most of the books that are going to be taken for the students are going to take books, the teachers are going to take books, and all those books are there. The rest of the books, my understanding, the best thing I can do with them is take them down to the rent center gym, or put them on the gym floor. Put them in some kind of a quarterly column. So we're not going to take the bookshelves down. I want to take a picture of the bookshelf, measure them up with A, B, C, and we're going to then auction them off. Hopefully we can auction them off if somebody wants them. A lot of those bookshelves are earmarked for the classrooms, and when they come down, they'll go to those classrooms.
Yeah, I know it sounds like, why are we talking about this? But it's just, we can't, those are things with taxpayer dollars and we just have to be, but thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, go ahead.
One last question regarding the books. If no one would have seen those books being thrown in dumpsters, they'd probably all be gone. And it would have been nice to have a discussion as to what to do with these. Instead of just dump them in a dumpster on a rainy day. Who authorized the throwing away of all these books?
I can address that. All the books wasn't being thrown away. There was a certain section of books that nobody even look at or wanted to see. And
I can't hear you, Jerry.
I said there was a section of books that was on that one back shelf that nobody looked at. So those books, I was taking them off the shelf. I talked to Mrs. Stout and no one took them. So I had to get rid of these books, so I was going to throw them away. I talked to Dr. Martin. Rocky was there, and I apologize that I made that decision. And then the no books were thrown away. They're all still sitting in the library, and they're all sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
But I was going to throw that books away.
Dr. Mahalik brought up about taxpayer money. I don't know the process. I don't know if we could just dump them in a dumpster, throw them away, because they were bought with taxpayer money.
We did, Mrs. Stout offered it to the libraries, offered it.
Offered what? Jerry, really, I can't hear you.
I said, Mrs. Stout called the libraries, asked them if they wanted to get the books, all the teachers, all the students, she called a couple other organizations. We tried to give all those books away. We tried to donate them to anybody who wanted. The whole library was up for donation or whoever wanted, including teachers and students. Students went down and took a lot of books out. Students went down and took a whole section of, they got a whole section of encyclopedias to go out. So any of the books that was earmarked that was going to be, that was being reserved, they weren't being thrown away.
And I think that was my point too, Mr. Dorsey's, that, you know, we have the process kind of laid out, but
Right.
then to that final stage, like once you go through all these folks
Then what do you do?
and nobody's wanting to take it, and thankfully, Mr. Bashir and his group came in and did,
Well,
you know,
well, with that, just saying everybody was called. Was the Historical Society ever called about the books?
No, but I made them aware, and they were very thankful that we got that, and I suggested any more books like that, if we may throw them away, take them to Redstone, as Jerry said, put a tarp on the floor and just stack them there, and all the shelves put up an auction. I mean, so the books, some group may want them. It may be Brownsville Library, it may be California Library, I don't know.
So we really don't know if all outside entities were contacted.
That I don't know.
Historical Society was one, wasn't. Thank goodness you found out.
I just found out because of people that were there that saw it, but they didn't know, they actually didn't know, so. I would have thought, basically, as a board member, they would be transferred somewhere where they would be safe until we want to restock them or something, but I was just afraid that they would disappear as the middle school library. I don't know where those books ever went. Maybe they're still here somewhere. But it just happened to be timing, and 643 books, because I hand counted them, and they were all history, so that's what, I just couldn't stand there, Dr. Malik, as a historian or a president of Historical Society.
no, yeah, absolutely.
Even if I had to be handcuffed and taken out, I'm still gonna stand for those books coming, so.
I think we got it before we
Yeah,
got.
we need to clear something else up. Mr. Yakobet,
Sure.
the furniture that was in the library that had teachers' names, they went to the classroom, correct, and not their house? The furniture that was marked for the teachers that wanted it is going in the classroom, correct? Thank you, Mr. Yakobet. Yeah, thank you.
Ms. Columbia, did you have a comment?
I was just gonna say that, I understand, I do to some degree understand where Jerry's coming from. When you exhaust all measures to see who's
Right.
interested in books, there's a demand issue there. And there's taxpayer dollars involved in managing this inventory of something that nobody wants.
Right.
And so, that involves taxpayer dollars as well. So I do understand what everyone's saying. So I'm very happy to hear that this is all turning out in a positive way. But Jerry, I do understand where you're coming from. I don't think you really need to apologize. I think you put forth a lot of effort to get to the point where, what do I do with a group of books that nobody wants? But Rocky, I'm glad that things worked out as well.
And the other thing, Patty, is there is, to defend the district, there is a process for that.
Right.
See who wants them,
And what
store them,
happens when nobody
or
wants
destroy
them?
them.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the
So
process by the
So
state of
Jerry, you didn't
Pennsylvania.
do anything wrong.
And when I talked to Mrs. Stout, I told her that when books got turned over to me, that was the end.
Right, he's the end of the line. Yeah.
But that's how, when I got the books,
Take them home, Jerry. Take them home. Put them on your shelf.
Ask the president.
that's where I got the books.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yes.
Well,
They are now.
They are now, yes.
to a way they have, and to a way, as president, I acted as a president, I want to say confiscate the books, but I also had, Mrs. Vogel's a member of the Historical Society, and, you know, we know formally, not formally, just happened to be right place, right time, and I don't know if nothing was gonna be in a wall in my face to take them. I mean, if you're gonna dump them, I'm taking them. I don't care if I have to put them on a porch. But just historical books. I didn't take biographies, we didn't take, sports books, we didn't do any of that. You had something you wanted to say?
I see Ms. Vogel there, and then this will be the last comment from the, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, you can also donate all those books, which I still don't understand why we're getting rid of them. But if you're gonna donate them and nobody wants them, the Salvation Army will gladly take them. And there's other organizations that will even send books overseas. So, somebody will get them at the end of the day.
Thank you.
You're right, because Goodwill will also take them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They send a lot of things overseas.
Okay, Mr. Yarkabet, I'll donate my time to load up that van, and I'll take them to the Goodwill for you.
Thank you, Mrs. Zulick.
Hey,
Okay.
Just to add to the story, when Cardell closed, the books are still in there.
So it's
Well, they were at least 5 years ago.
on street school.
The books are still in that library.
Anything else? Questions, comments for education? Mr. Clark wanted to just jump back if we could. He had a question on, and Colby, this might be for you, on some of the financial piece.
Which is on page 8, Grove City Area School District. We have a student going there.
So we have a student going to Grove City.
Do you look at it?
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure. And then I had another question on page 5. TSA Consulting Group. Retirement. Okay. That's just all we get.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Thanks.
Okay. Mr. Dorsey, anything else for education?
No.
Okay. Mr. Gates, personnel.
All right, A, discuss adding the following names to the professional substitute list: Sierra Guerin, Isabella Robaugh, and Janine Rhodes. B, discuss hiring Bethany Rhodes as a part-time paraeducator for the Brownsville Area School District in accordance with the SEIU contract effective October 17th. And also, I'm gonna take C, D together, that's hiring Nicole Tristani and Miranda Riziak as part-time para-educators effective October 17th, both of those the same day. E, discuss hiring Amanda Brown as a 5-hour floater cook for the Brownsville Area School District in accordance with the SEIU contract effective October 17th, 2025. Any questions on any of those? All right, F, discuss approving Dr. Andrea Constable, Chantel Little, Stacy Victor, and Jamie Gammon to attend the 2026 Improving School Performance Conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on January 25th and 26th, 2026, paid for through Title IX funds, 4 funds. G, discuss approving the request from Colby Bigham and Keith Wellington to attend the PASBO conference in Pittsburgh on March 24th to the 27th, not to exceed $2,200. Any questions on those two? H, discuss terminating Haley Black, educator in the SIU, due to job abandonment effective October 17th, 2025. Questions on that?
No, but Mr. Gates, there's been 2 additions to personnel. We were emailed about this a little bit earlier today. Mr. Wellington sent the email. We have Joelle Jenkins to potential long-term emergency resource teacher for the middle school, and Sam Horner as a paraprofessional candidate.
I didn't get those.
Okay.
With the hiring of a couple more paraprofessionals here, Are we at our limit for aides at this point?
No,
We still need aides?
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
We probably need about, what, 4, 5? 8 of them, Andy.
Well, I don't know. Is it true, this is through the grapevine, it came to me that we possibly have a teacher with no kids plus an aide in that classroom? Can that aide be moved into one of those spots where we need, if that is true? And if it's true, why do we have a classroom with no kids?
No kids.
That's not true.
No?
Yes, that's not true. That's not true. And the part with the aides is, well, we have contracted aides from Emergis Staffing Agency, and we were trying to replace the Emergis aides with.
Oh, yeah, because I saw the cost. We're paying a pretty penny for these aides from that agency.
Like, we're paying approximately, I think it was, Colby told me $35 an hour for those
Yeah.
aides. They're paying them $22 an hour. So what we were trying to do was hire Brownsville aides, and then we would no longer use the.
Need the
staff
other,
aides.
right.
Yes.
Good idea.
Right now, the emerges, we have 13 of them.
And that's who they're trying to replace.
Wow.
With Brownsville. So if I could get at least 13 hires for paraprofessionals, we could replace the Emergis aides, and then we wouldn't have to use the staffing agency.
Yeah, but it seems like, every month, we're terminating somebody for job abandonment, that's your mom's wage?
Yes.
I watch it. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No? It's good.
We've had a lot of turnaround, with people that we hired for Brownsville paraprofessionals that have not stayed.
Okay, I'm done, go ahead.
No, it's just,
So are we short special education teachers?
Yeah, so that's the middle school position.
How many?
How many of those positions?
How many teachers are we short of special education?
So that one would be approximately 4.
Four?
We hire one.
Don't we have one serving,
We have one position right now, that middle school resource position that we can't hire for because the person in that position is on leave. So we can't hire for that position, but we had, 2 other, resignations at the high school and one at the middle school. So a total of 3 that we would need to hire for, and one person's on leave, so we're anticipating if that person would resign, then that would be the 4th.
Well, I've asked before, with these positions, special ed positions, can't we transfer people that have a special ed certification that are doing something else into those positions? Because, as I said before, if my child was in a classroom, special needs, and was being taught by a gym teacher, I would be upset, especially if I knew there were certified special education teachers doing other stuff in the district. It makes no sense to me, and to me, we're not doing our job to put the proper teacher in the proper place. And I brought this up before, I'll bring it up again. I don't like this. Hey, I asked Mrs. Gibble, if she's suing. Well, you know what? If that would be my child in a special education class without a teacher that's certified, and I knew there were certified teachers in the district, I would be suing.
So to answer your question, yes, we could involuntarily transfer.
Then why aren't we? That doesn't go to you. It goes to the 9 members up here. Why aren't we putting those people in that position?
We would also have to fill the positions that they're in currently in regular education.
I mean, you do have impacts to those classrooms at this point in the year.
Well, my thing is, it's easier to fill a regular education room with a teacher that's not, I'm comfortable with a math teacher coming in and teaching my child history. But I'm not comfortable with somebody that's a history teacher teaching my autistic child. You know, that's where I'm at. Are we servicing the children properly when we're not putting a certified teacher in there and we have certified teachers floating around the buildings?
I think you raise a lot of good points, and we did discuss this, I believe, maybe at the last meeting or two meetings ago. I think it's something that we as a board need to discuss a little bit further in executive session. Yeah.
Because for some reason, we're not moving on that.
Right. Yeah, so I would definitely like to do that in executive session.
Under education,
Yes.
or personnel. I spoke to a few parents in elementary that a certain, I'm not gonna name names, a certain teacher we brought back that didn't wanna come back. You probably all sitting here know who I'm talking, I can't remember this person's name. But he doesn't wanna give, he's mad and does not wanna give homework because he just doesn't seem like he wants to be here. I think we need to look into that. If that's the case, and hey, parents aren't always right. I took everything with a grain of salt. I understand. I will ask about it. Maybe I should have asked in executive session, but I'm asking now. If that reasoning, and you can't prove it, so I'm really talking into the wind here, that you are not going to teach your class, or you're not going to give out any homework, or you're not going to do anything because we brought you back from your job that you were probably making $1 million because you had to come back. Give your job back up. If you don't want to be here, give your job up. Let someone else teach. Let someone else have a job. That's how I feel. I'm not naming names. Everybody can just scan who they think it is. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to watch that. And don't start giving homework now because I brought this up. But every teacher does their job. They give homework, they assignments, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to be here? And you publicly say that to people? How do I act as a board member when I hear that? I want to fire that person immediately. Because you're not doing our children a justice here. Kids don't want homework piled up, sure. But don't say that. He didn't want to come here. How long has he been gone? 5 years? To go back to taking care of landscape. I'm done. I will. She just told me to shut up. She's right.
Okay. Sounds like we have a lot to discuss in executive session.
I didn't say no name, Mr. President.
No, I know. So
That's why she shut me up. You got one more meeting.
Anything else for personnel? Mr. Gates? Good? Okay. Ms. Columbia, Finance.
Yes, item A, discuss the TAN loan. Any questions there? Colby?
The reason why the resolution is not on this agenda, we were really holding out and hoping for the best. We thought that's good news Thursday, and it turned out, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So the House did vote on the bill, and everybody thought the Senate was coming the next day to vote on it. Well, they had already went home before the House even voted on the bill, so they weren't going to vote. So I will contact, First National on this week, get that resolution started. The interest rate is 3.9%, so very good. All these other districts that I've talked to, they're in the 5% range, so we are good there. So that's nice. We're just trying to save on the fees. Range $25,000 to $10,000.
Sure.
That's the game. So
And we will need a special meeting for this, correct?
yes, we will vote on that probably next 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Thanks, Colby. Item B, discuss approving the commitment letter for LSA grant.
So, Everybody Services is, they're currently working on the LSA grant to, complete the section of the roof, over the cafeteria in high school. That is our work section, it's a restoration project. Commitment letter is bonus points for us, saying as a district, we're willing to put these funds up to make sure this, project is, so that's why it's been. And I believe these
Colby, that's the letter.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's the letter I was referring to. Yeah.
Our mysterious president.
Oh, thank you.
I started it off.
Oh, okay, very good. Oh, thanks, Colby. And again, this is, is this a grant that we're working on with the grant agency that we, okay.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Okay.
Is that the only grant they're working on? Because I know I've asked that.
Well, yeah, that's why I
Well,
wanted to.
that's the next one.
Oh, that's, jumping ahead, sorry.
Item C is discuss, well, might as well just go to.
total
let's
grant
just go to
updates,
Item
okay.
C, yeah, discuss the total grant updates.
So grant-wise, yes, right now, they are working with I believe the name was, or approved the resolution for the social media litigation. I did meet with them, this was 2 Fridays ago now, at the IU, and gave guidelines on what to submit. Fraser had already done it, and they were able to submit roughly $10 million in expenditures that the bullying, meta, all that kind of
Yeah.
falls in line with. They did give the update that these, school districts in California, right now there's over 3,000 school districts in the country signed up for this litigation. They're currently in court in California, and it sounds like they're getting their behind the canvas right now. So it looks like it's a good thing where we think they're hoping, best case scenario, there might be a settlement as early as spring next year. So,
Well, with that litigation there, isn't that something where all they probably had to do was submit our name, and there's other attorneys and people doing all the work? So pretty much what their duty in that was just submit some type of paperwork and send it in, and just sit back and wait and see what
yeah,
happens.
but what they're doing is they're helping with the process to make sure, because there is a chance in the spring district that applies for, I think they call them the bell winners, where you may, like, we could get chosen and we could have to go to court. And we have to defend all the statements and all the expenditures, we have to have all that, so they're helping with that process.
Okay,
And make sure we're putting down what they think we want.
and going forward, can we have a report on what they're doing monthly? Every month, because it seems to me like they're doing very minimal, and we're paying.
Yeah.
So we're not getting our money's worth. Definitely not, in my opinion.
I do know that, the amount of grants out there, just because of the different shutdowns and the budgets that aren't passed, I know that it's not a great time for grants. But I do agree with Mr. Dorsey. I would like to see at least what
Yeah,
they're
'cause
doing.
what is it we're paying a month? $1,600, there we go.
So, yeah, and again, this goes back to our previous conversation
I
about
could buy some new books.
third-party contracts and how many we have out there and kind of where we are with that, so.
Yeah, we hired, and I think it was when Dr. Savini was here, we hired a lady, and I can't remember her name, but to do grants. She was hired, and it was a percentage-based contract with her.
Sure.
So, if she didn't write a grant, we didn't lose anything. But in this, may have been something that it should have been done on a percentage grant, and maybe they'd do some work. If I know I'm not getting any money until I write a grant and get something, then I'm gonna work a lot harder and apply for more and more grants. I don't know.
No, you're right, Mr. Dorsey. Yeah.
$1,600 a month, that adds up over the years.
Certainly does. Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I would be remiss, the person that I spoke of is in middle school, not elementary. So, don't get excited, elementary, it's not you. It's not your building. It's middle school. And,
Oh, got it.
So are we moving on?
Yes, let's move on.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have item D, discuss approving renting a classroom to the intermediate unit for $1,000 a month. Item E, we'll discuss approving the notification of the following repository tax sales from the Fayette County Tax Claim Bureau and authorize the president of the board to sign the consent of sale on behalf of the district. We have the parcel IDs listed there and the addresses. But I did just notice this, Colby, do you think that the 133 Jackson Street, are those two different parcel IDs, or do you think that's a mistake, or?
They're right beside each other.
They're right beside,
When
okay.
I looked the addresses up, one didn't give a house number.
Okay,
but
that's
the other
fine.
one did.
Yeah, that's no problem. I just don't want us to have an error in here, and, that's everything, for finance.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Ms. Columbia or for the Finance Committee? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Building and Grounds, Mr. Gammon is away, so first we have discuss advertising for bids for security camera updates paid with PCCD grant.
I have a question on this.
Yes.
Didn't we just redo all the cameras like 2 years ago? Why are we doing this again?
We did, and Brian's not here to speak on it completely, but half of them, Alec might be able to shed some light. I know half of them are on one system, half are on another system, correct, Alec?
What we have is, both buildings are pretty much on separate camera systems, so we have all the camera systems being one. Brian and I sat down and tried to figure out which building to work on to give us the best option for the money. So there's two PCCD grants that we have. One is, I believe it's around $10,000 and it has to use for, December. The other is leftover from when we did all the exterior door locks and the access systems. So what we're looking to do is, ones that we have here in middle school and high school, some of those are still old analog cameras, which the quality of them is pretty terrible. So what we decided is we're going to update the ones here. We're still gonna be on different systems, but we're going to get a better quality coverage with the cameras that we're gonna replace. So what we can do is the ones that are digital, as long as they're internet-based camera, they can pull those in and just put them all into that system. So kind of bring some of that stuff all into one system. So we're still gonna have a couple systems with it, but we're gonna have a better quality out of it.
Well, the state doesn't have a budget, we're not getting our funding. I don't know why we're looking at spending this amount of money on a system that we just updated. Because there were many questions the board had about how much money every meeting we were giving Vector Security when they were doing
That's
this.
one of the things that we're looking at, because the company that's gonna do this, it will not be Vector. It's, Access System, or Access System. Some of the old cameras that Vector has, that they're monitoring, we would be doing away with, so each fee that we're paying per camera for them to monitor would be like cut out. So.
But when you're saying the company that's gonna do this, should this have been put out to bid since it's so much of so high of a price?
I don't think we can do it without, I think it has to go to bid.
Yeah, I'll put the motion to advertise.
Okay,
Please.
okay, but still, is this a want or is this a need?
I would say this is the key. There are parts of the system, if you were to look at a camera and feed you away in the hallway, it's just so grainy that you're looking at it, you're trying to figure out, one, who the student is and what am I really looking at.
Then why didn't we complain to Vector when this was put in that it wasn't very good?
Part of those cameras that we're replacing, when I say analog, they're the old school. They're probably one of the first ones put in with that system, what Vector has there. They're cameras that can't be replaced because the company that they're from is on a list that federal government doesn't even allow to import stuff from it anymore because they're Chinese companies.
So, Mr. Hampton, are we saying that the last time we did an upgrade, it wasn't all the cameras?
Wasn't all the cameras.
Okay, so it wasn't.
There's a whole other system. If you look at, there's a couple cameras that are inside of the elementary school. There's cameras inside of the high school, middle school.
So,
Because they're probably trying to do it.
my question here is, can we get an update of how many cameras we have, how many cameras you want to replace, and how many cameras are on System A, System B, System C?
Yeah, Brian has that already.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think.
but we don't have that, and
That's right.
we're expected to vote.
That's a very
But
good
he
point.
has that broken down, and they gave us like a template of what cameras they would be, existing cameras would be replaced by their cameras, and like coverage and everything. So he has that, and like I said, he could probably give you a good idea of if we remove, say, these 10 cameras here, that are vector cameras, that is no longer under vectors, you know, we're not paying them for 10, those 10 cameras tomorrow.
But we'll be paying this company instead.
Well, we're paying them, it's more of a fee, like a user fee type of thing for them.
And if you remember, for probably 12 months in a row, I complained about Vector. You call them up, they told them what cameras weren't working, all we did was keep paying them. Here's another 20,000, here's 50,000, here's 30,000. Well, this isn't Vector, thank goodness. But Vector was bought out by Guardian, so I don't know who this company is, but I think we need some more information before we're gonna spend $10,000 on cameras that we don't know if they'll work.
Yeah.
I mean, Vector gave us a song and a dance, then the guy retired.
And are we sure these are the best that we're gonna get at this point? Or 2 years from now, are we gonna say, hey, we need to replace cameras?
We looked at them, we sat through a demonstration with them. They are more intuitive use for cameras. So if you have to look something up, it's a lot easier to find it in this camera system. It uses AI. So for instance, if I said that person, I want to see the person with the red shirt that just walked past this camera, it will find that person on every single camera on that system. It gives you the ability that you can pull it up since it's internet-based. Whoever has the access to that system, you look it up on the computer. You're not stuck to sitting at a desk with 8 different systems or 8 different CPUs sitting there watching 20 cameras trying to figure out where this thing is.
I don't know, I'm just saying, we just did this. And the main thing is, that's a lot of information that you said you have that we don't have, we should have had. It should be in our packets. If this item is gonna be on the agenda, we should have been given all the information. Because it sounds like we're just gonna throw good money after bad. And 2 years from now, is it gonna come back, oh, that picture don't look good, let's get another system.
The only thing I'll say
Comes down to, is it a want, is it a need?
The only thing I'll say to this is the money, the first 10,000 that has to be for December, that's expiring grant.
That's my question.
Yeah,
You have to use
The
it.
rest of the money is from a more recent grant that is left over that.
That was my question.
we didn't spend.
Yeah, Terry was
So,
asking
that
about the
money
grant.
is, by the grant itself, is earmarked for like security purposes. I don't think you can take it and throw it at something.
Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
That 10,000.
And there's a date on that. It has to be. That's
fine.
December.
All right, two things, so, okay, the camera things, that's for the safety of our students and our teachers. I agree, we should get them upgraded if it needs to be upgraded. Number two, we're just saying for bids to go out. We're not putting Vector or whoever else is out there, this is for the bids only, that's all.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
agree,
point.
I'm just saying, we,
I agree with you. So
as
that's
a
all, but
board
we don't have
member,
to
I
sit
wanna
and argue
see,
about the whole thing all the time.
I
It's
just
simple
wanna
and
see all the
plain.
information.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused. This was very helpful.
Right.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused as well from reading the information, but this was very helpful.
And was it stated in there somewhere, first year's 10,000, after that, it's like 133,000?
I don't know the whole,
I'm gonna have to check again, but I saw something on that.
Yeah, I think, with the bid piece, that makes sense. And especially if we're gonna lose some grant money if we don't use that. But no, I totally agree. We definitely need that
Mr. President,
information.
I'm just saying, if
No,
you
right.
just read that way.
Oh, yes.
That it's 10,000 and following that, it's 133,000, then obviously a company's been selected too.
Yeah, that, Mr. Dorsey, where is that?
I think it's
It's in the packet somewhere.
It's in Brian.
Not in Brian's
I
report.
think it's
Oh,
in Brian's
yeah,
report. 'Cause
yeah.
I did read it.
It is in Brian's
Yeah.
report. That's where I saw.
Yeah, it's in Brian's report, because I remember reading it. Thinking, holy.
That following that, the price goes up. And that's what I'm saying. If we already know those numbers, then it sounds like the company's been selected instead of going out for bid. That's illegal. I can't find Brian's report. I'm in Jerry's.
It's right on the back side of the data from Boston. It's right on the back.
Key.
Oh, yeah. 13,000, Mr. Dorsey.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, maybe it was, it was 30,000 people.
I don't know, I can't find it.
Suggestion, since we are going to be calling a special meeting for the TAN vote, could this be something that we add that would give us enough time to review that information?
It could. Mr. Boyd's out of town, so he wouldn't be able to compile this information until he returns on Monday.
That would give,
Yes.
30,000, not 100.
Mhm.
does that sound fair?
Yeah.
I'll put this on the team.
Any other questions on that? Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Anything else on buildings and grounds? Okay, Mr. Clark, athletics.
Item A, discuss approving a request from Jane Block to take the softball team to Pigeon Forge for the spring training trip. It'll be March 20th through the 25th. The students will be responsible for completing all assignments. Only cost to the district will be a substitute. Any questions? Item B, discuss approving the request from Marissa McFerrin to take the instrumental music group to Pigeon Forge for the competition of Dollywood from May 7th to the 10th, 2006. Students will be responsible for completing all assignments. Only cost to the district will be a substitute for the 3 days. And teachers for 2. Sorry about that. Any questions on that? Item C, discuss Huddle TV for the district at a cost of $3,575, prorated for the first year, and a renewal fee of $10,100 a year. I know there were some questions on this. I'm gonna let Cody, you wanna explain that a little bit more?
Yeah,
You-
so, if we approve this, and yeah, it would start as soon as we sign the, well, that would be for all sports, not just, I think right now we're gonna have football, basketball, so that would be for all sports.
And then tell about the musical too, how we can use it.
Yeah, so with this, with the package, you get 2 cameras that we can set up, like soccer games, anything, it could be used for musical, it could be used for any type of event. And then we can post it on our Huddle page where individuals can go and watch it later. So if they're not there, they can still watch it, almost like a YouTube type thing. There's some stats, they have league, something like,
Is this in the budget?
so, this, for next year, we would have to add in,
Vote on it.
currently, we normally spend about $5,000 a year for Huddle. We've already spent 2 this year for just football, so we would still be paying another $2,500 for basketball, probably up. So this would be an additional roughly $2,000 than what's on us.
And to renew it next year, it would be a vote. So the board would make the decision if they were going to renew it for the 10,100, correct?
So if
Or are
don't
we
go
committing?
for it right now, this is the lock-in rate, the 10,100. So if we don't
Now, if we were to vote for it, are we locked in for a certain number of years?
Is that year to year, or is this, yeah? Can we find that out first? Maybe
Yeah,
before the
we
meeting?
definitely need to know that.
Yeah.
I don't wanna be locked in.
So the advantage here is for the team and the coaches. You're saying there's an advantage for outside people who want to watch the game and don't have to show up to watch it?
It would be after the fact.
After it's done, coach.
Yeah, I mean, after it's
Like
over,
later,
yes,
after
I
they
get
play.
that.
Yeah, it's not a live stream.
Not live.
Mhm.
I mean, we could live stream if we wanted to, and they're
No.
active, like,
No.
we can do things, but
Yeah, you'll lose money live streaming.
So when this huddle camera is set up at a football game or basketball game, do we pay someone to operate it?
No, it self-operates.
And we don't even need Wi-Fi. It'll just sit there, and then once we come back, we plug it in, like, almost like an SD card, like, system.
I mean, I think it's got good points, but I go back to what Mr. Dorsey's talking about the grants, paying people to write grants and haven't written one yet. I don't want to throw money away. We're in a budget crisis, man, and I'm just forewarning the board, if things don't change, we are going to be in a crisis next year, there's no doubt. But if this is something the board wishes, I guess I won't stand in the way of my vote, but, Okay.
You good, coach? Any other comment on that?
I was just gonna say, as a coach, it's a wonderful tool and it helps a lot. I did call Jim and we talked about this some, Jim Barrick. As a member of the board, understanding the budget, I'm not sure how I feel about this. We definitely need to know if we're locked in. I mean, it was wonderful. It would make my life a whole lot easier because it would be so much less administrative work, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap. The schools that have it, it's wonderful. Can we afford it? I'm not positive. I'm on the fence. I agree with you. I agree with you, Mr. Bashir. We have to be sure.
It's something
It's a lot of money. It's a
I
lot of money.
I agree with you, Patty. It's something that I think would be advantageous to us.
It's wonderful.
But when I look at how many fans did not pay to come in the gate this year, I mean, not a lot. If you take 600 people times $5, all right, pays for part of it. But we're saying we don't have money for a lot of things that would help pay for a lot of things.
We are paying someone to do our huddle. So if you take 22 girls basketball games, 22 boys basketball games, the amount of money that we're paying someone, and maybe look at those numbers, that might help us. What's the difference?
Yeah, per year.
Yeah.
You guys see, if this is not locking us in.
Right.
I mean, this might get, yeah.
And we are paying students to do this, and it's a nice thing for them. You know, it's something that's nice that the students do, and you know they earn some extra money. It teaches them some responsibility. We've had some students, we had to work with them to make sure they do this right. I like that aspect of it. I like the involvement of kids, you know, just getting out of their houses and doing things. I've already had 2 kids text me and say, hey, am I doing huddle video? Am I still gonna be the huddle video person this year? I like that aspect of it too, you know. So I don't know, I'm gonna think about it between now and Thursday. There's a lot to think about.
And I believe there's curriculum that goes with this program for students.
Oh, good.
Speaking of our students,
Okay, good,
yes.
good, yeah.
My feeling is if we don't pass this time, I know it's gonna cost more, but down the road, I wanna say, where do we stand? Maybe we'll have more money, maybe we won't. I won't stand in front of it. I'm just saying, at this time, to lay out $10,000 is not the route I wanna go. I see other things in this district that we need. They're small, but we need them. I see them on a daily basis. I'd
Yeah,
rather
this-
pay the higher fee next year
Yeah.
than give them 10 grand right now. That's just me. I won't stand in front of it. If it's a tie vote, I will pass it, so.
How do you feel about the prorated rate, the $3,575 to finish out this school year with the total package to see if they like it, the coaches like it,
It's okay, I mean, I'm open-minded with it. It's-
or just pause?
I'm
Completely.
more apt to do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we're
Because
not.
fair is fair.
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna put that much money out for the football team, well, then we ought to finish the year for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
a good point, yeah. As long as we know that we're not locked into anything, because
Mm-hmm.
next year they're gonna have something that's better than Huddle, and now we've locked into
That's right.
Huddle.
Well, your question in the beginning, you asked if we get this now at this rate, are we locked into it?
For next year.
Yeah,
This
so
would
next
do
year,
great, yeah.
if we're not locked into this, next year, we're gonna pay whatever it is anyhow. Even if we do this today, we're not locked in at that rate, we're paying the 13,000 or whatever. These, once again, this is another item in here, just like with the security cameras, that it's on the agenda, it's on here to discuss, but we don't have all the information.
Mm-hmm.
That's information that we needed to have a proper discussion.
Understood. Mr. Barrick was supposed to be here tonight to elaborate, and he couldn't make it. So I think you are 100% correct that we should hold off on this until we have some more information. Maybe entertain the prorated cost for the school year, and then we would be able to gauge if it is something that's useful for all sports. And if we want to utilize it for the musical and pieces like that, and maybe that's something that could be conveyed to the company, that this is a trial basis for us.
We all good? All right. D, discuss accepting a letter of resignation from Kaylon Kovac as the varsity cheer coach, effective immediately. Any questions?
There was one thing that would need possibly be added, and that was to hire Rachel Roshak as the head cheerleading coach for the high school. Again, something to be added to the agenda for discussion. Was that been posted?
She was the head cheerleader before.
This will be posted.
It's posted.
Yeah, we'll post it internally,
Okay.
and then take it from there. Mhm. Once the letter of resignation is accepted on Thursday, we'll post it.
Just to discuss.
Okay.
Got it. Sorry.
I have something I want to discuss, Mr. President, if I may.
Yes.
Far too often throughout the years being on the board, we seem to have more trouble with meetings every few months hiring coaches. My thoughts are, can we just hire all the coaches in January and open to apply? And those who don't apply, will wait till their season comes up and keep trying to hire them. But every month we gotta hire this one, move this one, hire this coach, hire that. It's taken up a lot of board time. And I just thought if we post all the positions in January for the whole year, just post them, everybody applies who they want, and we go from there.
We
I don't know
did.
how y'all feel about that, that's how I feel.
Makes sense.
It works, it has worked.
That makes sense.
We met with Mr. Barrick, and we were looking at it would be 3 separate meetings for coaches. So they would be hired according to the season that we would be coming up to. And we wouldn't be doing this every single month. There would be a block, 3 times a year.
You're saying we would post it 3 times a year?
They would be posted accordingly, but whenever we were voting on it, when we were bringing it to the board 3 times a year, those coaches would be presented to the board. So the positions will be posted. We're going to continue to open up the positions, post them. But instead of doing this monthly, where we're constantly hiring coaches, it will happen on a 3-month increment. And I want to say the breakdown, I don't have it in front of me. Mr. Bigham was in the meeting with us when we had it. It was a January meeting, it was maybe a May. He has it blocked out, Mr. Barrett does, so he's not here tonight.
The process would be that we do post all the jobs.
Right.
And in the meantime, some of them don't get filled. So that you're saying that gives us a chance to hire in March. But for some crazy reason, all positions could be hired in January. Is that possible? It probably won't ever be. I'm just saying that some people are just not going to apply. But could we open these positions to say, okay, it's out here. Some are already, coaches are going to be here. That might be new. That's what I'm saying. Just helps us from having to put our time and effort on things other than education. I mean, other than sports. And me, you know me, I'm sports all my life. I'm just saying, do we have a debate team? I think we do. Do we have a choir? I think we do. But I never hear of the choir. Where are they? I would like them to come to the castle to sing something for Christmas. But no, seriously, I just think if this board thinks that way, if not, it's okay. I'm just saying that I think we should open it up. And as John Harvey, former board member, would say, let's see who's out there. Because he was always a big proponent of, let's just see. We may hire the same coach back. Yes, get it.
So we have to open them internally first.
However we have to do it.
Well, that's the proper. You have to open them there first, and then, you know what I mean?
We try to get it all in one swoop, so the internal people, this, that. That's where I'm coming from with it. I don't know, anybody else have anything they want to speak about that? Mr. Dorsey, you started to say something about that.
No, I said it makes sense, you know, if you can get 75% of them hired at one meeting, you know, then you don't have to nickel and dime it as you go along. Then you can, you know, post them again.
Well, you could probably hire those whatever those seasoned coaches are in. So it'd be split into 2 seasons. So that's how we do it anyway, pretty much. Fall and spring, right?
So if any of your sports were doing like off-season training, they're just gonna assume, would they just do that until they, like they're not hired yet?
Well,
so
you
I like
could,
rock
because like you say, at the end of your season, if, you know what I mean, opening right then,
yeah.
you would be already hired before you go into, you know, your season again. Because you do have a gap in the window where you don't practice.
The coach knows.
Yeah, so you'll have ahead of time.
I'm the next football coach, I'm the next girls basketball coach, I'm the
And you
next.
can do your advertising, your recruiting, your all your stuff. But for us to say, we're gonna hire a football coach in August, what the hell, that just doesn't work out.
No, it doesn't.
I coached all my life, and you can't hire a football coach, a high school football coach in August.
You have to know, you have to know.
I'm just looking out after the student athletes. Let's see what's out there. If you coach today, you're crazy.
It's the season.
The last thing I want to make, Mr. President, is, yes, I don't know what our policy is on unruly fans. I think we have something, Kristen, don't we? I think we need to take a better look at it and be a little more stringent.
Right.
You know, after, you know, things that happen, they've happened all the time, but, you know, when you have incidents that happen, and there were incidents everywhere Saturday, Collinsville, Best Center, Brownsville incident, Best Center had a guy with a gun. Okay, these are youth football games. So when a fan gets unruly, high school, middle school, soccer, we don't need almost a warning, maybe a warning, but we have to get them off the property. Because if they'll do it in football, they're gonna do it in basketball.
Yeah.
And the one person I won't mention, do we ever send that person a letter? Okay.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing, right? But I'm saying, can we look at that policy? Is it under athletics or is it under personnel, or how do we do that?
We can send it out. We can post it as well.
Could you send a copy to all the board members
Yes.
of what our policy is of that? And maybe we can add to or take away. I'm not looking for cutting anybody's throat. It's just that the safety of our kids, coaches, is starting to be, today's society, it just makes me shake my head. But you
It's
know,
the fans across the board are bad. Not all fans, but there's a set group. We've had trouble, discipline problems at games in most of our sports over the past few years. And they need, if there's somebody acting up, you're talking about warnings, okay. You're cussing, you're screaming, you're causing problems, here's your warning, settle down. They settle down. Next game, same person. Another warning. You know, can we keep track of that? And if there's somebody that's constantly having to be warned, boom, you're out of here.
Shouldn't be constant. You warn them one
Well-
time, they do it again, get out of here. Get out of here.
I will compliment our school security and the Brownsville Booster Club for you for helping out Saturday's problem. I'm not gonna go into it, but there was a problem, but the boosters down there helped out along with, Officer Cash and Officer Ignati. Officer Hannah Petoskey, because, wasn't so much our fans, it was the other ones that, people come over the rails, and I'm not gonna go into the story, but they did a good job, and Jerry, that field absolutely looked really good. It was painted, lined, cut. Would you put a million gallons of water on it? Because 2 weeks ago, if you threw a match down there, it was going up in flames.
You got water for us, you got water.
But the field with the painted, the pink ribbons and everything was painted on there. I thought it looked good, and like I said, the boosters helped out with security. But I will recommend next year we have more than 2, maybe 3. If this trend continues, and it's not just here, it's everywhere. But I'm only elected here, so that's my concerns. You guys understand that. We all understand that. We hear the same things every week. But then it steps up to high school games. It steps up to soccer games, it's basketball. Patty, you're gonna be, yeah.
If it's happening at youth games, that's a bad sign. And you're right, Rocky. I mean, the trend is scary. It's scary.
And guaranteed there's guns out there.
Yeah.
We don't want the people, do we, coming into all these games?
I commend every single person
The gym.
who's putting their efforts out there. Security, our administrators, our coaches. I commend everyone. I know that there's a lot of negativity, and that's generally all we hear at these board meetings. But there's a lot of positive stuff going on out there. There's a lot of positive efforts on the part of a lot of people, our admin team, and we do recognize it. It isn't all bad, and there are a lot of people who recognize the hard work that you guys are putting in to prepare our kids for the next level. And so I guess this is my opportunity to say we do recognize that there's a lot of good stuff going on here. There's a lot of hard work going on, and we do see it. So keep doing what you're doing.
You're right, Patty. And for example, Nick Cito announced the games at the Youth League Saturday. Every 10 minutes, he was telling people, no smoking, no vulgar language. Listen, as an official, we all can take getting yelled at. You guys stink, you suck, you all that shit. But when you are cussing and using vulgar language, little cheerleaders are 5 feet away from you, we don't tolerate it. We can't tolerate that. So if any of our, I did get assaulted Saturday. I got pushed. You push an official, you know Patty, you know what happens if somebody pushes an official. You're protected by the state. I didn't say anything because the father never saw his kid for 2 years. He just got out of prison. But that was the state. Well, you got to have cooler heads sometimes. But it's just a point that him making that announcement, people kept hearing it, kept hearing it, kept hearing it, kept hearing it. And those are the kind of things that worked out. And Nick, you did a good job down there announcing. I don't know if you're permanent, but we're not paying you. So, but other than that,
there isn't a more dedicated guy in the school district than Nick Cito, so they have the right person doing it.
you're going to find yourself stuck there from now on, bud. So just watch it. And I have to transportation. I have to add 3 names. I assume Jody, they're okay. Luis Varcadadomi. Is that right? VAR. People in the audience, help me out. VAREADAIPAINE. What's his name? Anyway, his name's Lou. Kristen Cooper and Robert Tomchek. Add their names to the agenda for transportation.
Yeah. You'll have that for the agenda, Jody?
Yes.
Those three.
Did you
Okay.
get that spelling, Jim?
Yeah, did you get the spelling? It's like a do-si-do with spelling. That's good. Okay, anything else?
Yes.
Yes.
When is our November meeting?
When is the November meeting? Oh, that's a good
Is it
question.
near Thanksgiving, after, before?
It's before,
I believe it's before.
yeah, what, the 17th and the 20th? 17th and the 20th? Mm-hmm.
17 and 20.
Last chance, Ms. Zuby.
I just want to say something.
Yep.
Do I have the support for someone to make that call to Salvation Army for them books? Or are you gonna make that call? Mr. Yarkabat, I am donating my time. I'll even put gas in the van, drive them there myself. Thank you.
Jerry, equipment man.
I think with a point of the finger, Susie, you got it. and the microphone goes up.
You want me to sing?
Yeah.
Yarkabat. Call Salvation Army. I'm bringing the card. I'll load it up with, I'll donate my time. I'll fill it up with gas. Adios amigos. I'll even buy you lunch, Jimmy Jones. Make the call. Make a call.
It's done, it's a deal.
Make a call. Because we're not going to prolong this project in that library. Make the call.
With that, we will move into executive session. The regular meeting is adjourned.
Wait, for executive session, I want to know what you're speaking of because of the issue that I addressed and said you didn't email me.
That would be an executive session. We are going in for legal and personnel matters. Yes. Go ahead.
The student of the month?
What student award program?
Is it the student of the month? PBIS. Oh. There's a WIN program. At the elementary, there is in fact a WIN program that is in place and being utilized. Mm.